guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. My name is Tom Tompkins. I'm the host and the founder of Vehicle Visionary. And beside me today is the 2019 Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63S. This is basically the four-door version of the GT Coupe, and I'll tell you what, it's no slouch. It is full of incredible technology, and on the road, it drives like a dream. It can also run like a race car. Let me show you what's under the hood. Here under the hood of the AMG G63S is the V8 putting out 630 horsepower and 627 foot-pounds of torque. It does 0 to 60 in an astonishing 3.1 seconds. Very fast for a sedan. It gets 15 miles per gallon of gas in the city and 20 miles per gallon out on the highway. If you're planning on picking one of these up, they start at about $160,000. Of course, you've got the V8 badge. It's going to tell you that it's also turbocharged right there. You have power mirrors, and when you use your remote to lock the car, the mirrors are automatically going to fold in and of course fold back out when you unlock the car again. You also have a blinker built into the mirror, always a nice touch there as well. And you have passive entry, so when the doors are locked, all you're going to do is walk up and put your hand on the door handle and the doors will automatically open. And here on the back you have the perfectly proportioned length, height, width, everything wing, only available on the Edition 1 of this particular car. So if you're not getting Edition 1, you won't be able to get this, but it does come with this particular model. You also have the stunning rear diffuser down here, and on each side of that, 4 exhaust tips that allow this car to have that classic AMG sound. And of course you do have the remote, or the key fob as it's known, lock, unlock. You have a panic button, and you can also open the trunk back here by simply holding that button down. It's going to automatically open up. And you also have a button here on the top to close that as well automatically. There is another option to open the rear trunk here on the driver's side door as well. You can see that right now. And here in the back seat, it's nice and roomy. But I'll tell you what, there are some things back here that you don't normally see in the back seat of most cars, one of which being the performance seats. Let's just say you took your car out on the track and had a couple of people in the back seat. The bolstering is going to do a much better job of keeping your passengers in place, going around corners and through turns than most vehicles would do. 2 USB ports and wireless charging right here in the center. You also have heated seats, and the button for the heated seats is located here on the door on each side, so each passenger can control whether the heated seats are on or off. Okay guys, quick tour of the interior here, but like I said, no shortage of technology. Let me tell you about what is here in the G63S. So let's go over some of the features here on the interior. Starting off with the center stack, of course you have the touchpad or next track. Looking from the left, on the top you have the drive modes, manual or automatic mode for transmission, suspension, traction control on and off. On the right side you have the stereo volume at the top, the auto start on or off, exhaust modes, and of course here on the steering wheel, if you start on the bottom right, you will see the drive mode button. The bottom left is the traction control on and off and suspension setting. Everything that you can control by simply moving your hands on the steering wheel but not actually taking them off. And in a car like this, depending on how you drive it, it's very important to be able to keep your hands on the steering wheel. You also have ambient lighting inside the air conditioning vents, probably a little bit hard to see with the bright sunshine that we have today, but I'll get you the best shot that I possibly can of that. But there are a multitude of options for different colors that you can change inside the car, not just in the air vents, but throughout the entire car itself to set the mood lighting. I mean, everything just flows together perfectly and is literally seamless. That really gives this car a very nice finished look to it. Everything looks like it was purposefully built, and a lot of thought and attention was given to the design and building of this car. There is also the ability to fill the car with a nice fragrance. I like that particular feature, not something you normally get on the cars. You know, you get the new car smell for a while when you buy a new car, but you can constantly have whatever fragrance you choose inside of the G63S. That is known as energizing comfort. Now, there is one very interesting thing that you can do here through the car itself. It has to be in park to do this, but you can actually have it show you different exercises you can do. I guess if you're on a long trip or something like that, and you're trying to keep yourself fresh and alert, you know, you can find a place to stop and do some exercises. A little bit unusual, but like I say, the only way that's going to work is the car has to be in park. And if you're looking for the seat adjustments, look on the side, on the door panels, on the driver and passenger side. That's where you're going to find those, not on the seats themselves, but instead on the doors. You can also use the steering wheel to scroll through and make changes and change the look of your dashboard as well, depending on what you want. Quite a few different options there. You do have shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel as well. Okay guys, I'm out here on the road with the G63S. It's exactly what you would expect. It drives like a dream. If you've never driven an all-wheel drive car before, especially a high horsepower all-wheel drive car, there's just nothing like the way this car pulls, especially with 630 horsepower. You can get away with some things on wet roads that you might not be able to otherwise. Not that I'm advocating that, but there are some scenarios where you might have to step on the pedal a little bit more on wet roads than you would want to, and a car like this is going to hold the road just fine in a situation where that's necessary. Now, as far as the way this steering wheel feels, it is ultra comfortable. I mean, I don't think it could be any more comfortable than what it is. The steering itself is nice and tight. Normally when you drive a sedan, something like this, it's not going to have as tight of a steering as this particular model does, but this would be a higher end, more of a high performance sedan than what you would normally get. And we're going to take it out on the road here on the open road where I can get it up a little bit and accelerate some than where I am right now. But just kind of cruising through these roads, getting to the main road, a little bit of curves and all that kind of stuff, curves and turns, and the car just stays glued to the ground. It's easy to drive. I love the way this car handles. It is absolutely incredible, and it's what you would expect for what you pay for this car. That's amazing. The car is so comfortable because it's heavy, it's large, it feels like a large heavy car like you would expect. I mean, maybe that's the wrong way to describe it, but with the size and the weight of the car, when you accelerate to higher speeds, it's a little bit deceptive because you can't feel the speed the way you would in a car that's lower to the ground, such as a Porsche or a Lamborghini or a Corvette, whatever the case may be. It's a bit deceptive, but it's also a lot of fun. Okay guys, there are several different modes available. I'm going to list all of those on the screen. That way I don't end up accidentally missing one. but several different driving modes, and of course exhaust mode. You can change the suspension settings, all that kind of stuff. I hope you can hear this, but I've changed to Sport Plus mode, which is what makes the exhaust sound absolutely incredible. So let me straighten up here, get into a straightaway, and we'll see if you can hear it. Get the exhaust pops that I was hoping for, but wow, I mean, that is insane. This car is so fast, and it's what you would expect for 630 horsepower and 627 foot-pounds of torque. This thing will set you back in the seat, but not quite like you would expect. Like I say, it's a little bit deceptive as to what it does and doesn't do. And that will bring another video to a close. Thank you all for taking the time to watch. Please be sure to share this video on your timelines on social media. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time on Vehicle Visionary.